Happy Friday, guys and gals. I'm on a mission today. Gonna go up and get something from the shops for the daughter. And some of you might have remembered not long ago I did a video on autism awareness. And I haven't done anything since, and I feel pretty bad about it. Things have been a bit hectic with sickness in the family and all sorts of things. Anyway, to carry on from that video, the response from it was fantastic. Some of the bike clubs here in South Australia reached out to me, see what they can do to help. A lady in Melbourne reached out and wants to be involved. If someone over there wants to be part of it too and do a ride. It really was, considering only 400 people saw the video, the response was bloody fantastic. So, and I don't want to say anything here on YouTube unless I know what I'm talking about. So, all the time we're learning. This autism thing is so involved and so in depth. So I don't want to say things without, to stir people up. It's a touchy subject. But one thing I do know for a fact is the parents of autistic children, be it young autistic children or, older autistic children, the one thing these people do want is for people not to judge them when they see these children stimming or having a meltdown, because it's not a tantrum, it's a meltdown. You've got to remember that they're severely autistic, and just slightly autistic, you won't get this. That's what the hard thing about autism is. It's there's so many different degrees of it. But yeah, they don't want to be judged. When you see a child having a major meltdown, and that might mean hurting themselves or yelling and screaming, or they self-harm and do all sorts of horrible things. When you see this sort of behaviour, try and be a bit understanding. Just remember that that adult goes through enough. And we all know that there are people that will rot the system when it comes to all that sort of thing. But if you sort of got a bit of an idea that it's autism's involved, how about giving that person a bit of a fair go? I realise that I sort of understand autism a little bit more, and I still know very little about it. I wouldn't know 10%, but wouldn't know 1% of what there is to know about autism. But my first encounter with it outside of my own family was I went to a shopping centre down at Victor Harbour here, and there was a lady walking in to the shop with a little boy, and he would have been no older than 4 or 5 years old, with an iPad in his hand and holding his mum's hand, and he looked just like any other little child on the street. But all of a sudden he had a real meltdown, and his mother, who wasn't a small woman, had trouble holding him, and he chucked his iPad and it smashed against the wall. And the response from this lady, I knew straight away. I picked it straight away. The response from this lady, when all I did was walk up, and people were walking past staring and looking and pointing, and you could see the lady's face. She was not embarrassed because she was used to it. Yeah, but you could tell this lady was concerned. Anyway, all I did was walk over, grab the iPad, which was broken, and walked over and stood next to her and said, "Is there anything I can do to help, love?" And just stood there while this little boy calmed down, and it calmed down in within a couple of minutes he was back grabbing at his iPad and chatting away to his mother in his own little way. And the look on this woman's face when there was all these other people gawking and pointing and only carrying on, and the stranger came up and must have known what was going on, and that was the first time I ever understood autism from someone else, from my point of view towards someone else, not in my own family. So yeah, that's just one little thing you can do for an autistic parent, the parents of an autistic child. If you see something like that, don't just automatically bloody assume that it's just a little kid having a tantrum. Have a think about it. Treat the person, the parent or the child with the same respect you would everybody else. That's just my thoughts, that's all. Anyway, I'm going to go and get these things for the daughter, and another good excuse to go for a ride. Alright guys, thanks for listening in. Like I've said, I'm not trying to raise money, and I'm still in the phase of just trying to work out what I'm going to do. But every now and again I'll throw up when I learn something new about autism, I'll pass it on to you so you know. The bride's ordered some little patches for me vest, which I think will be really good. I'll get them sewn on. But yeah, I'm not looking for money. I'm just trying to make a little bit of awareness go on. So keep an eye open. I'll put a video up here every now and again. Alright guys, like I said, happy Friday, and we'll talk to you next time.